Yes! Alrighty. What's up, everybody? It is I, your Tribal God of Extreme, Peter Joseph here for a Friday evening, getting close to Friday night video. Right here on the main channel, Killer of Demons 669. And as always, thank you for watching. Make sure you like the video, hit the subscribe button down in my pants, otherwise known as scritch marks below. Do it now, or forever hold your peace. So do it now. Leave a comment on the video if you like. You don't have to, but if you leave stupid comments, you get sent to the Shadow Realm, beaten severely with a spiked bat. And then Ozzy and Satan will come down after the minions kick your ass. Ozzy and Satan will come down, laugh at you, and then pretty much eat your soul. But that's pretty much it. So don't do it. Go somewhere else with that shit. You ain't gonna do it on my show. That's pretty much it. Share the video all over the internet. Follow me on social media, Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. Don't forget to tap and slap that bell. Turn on all notifications so you don't miss the next one. Because if you miss the next one, oh, you're SOL. You know what that means. And if you don't know what it means, oh, where have you been for 17 years? I said it pretty much for 17 years. So, and counting. So, that's that. So if you don't know what SOL means, you're fucked up. If you miss any one of my videos, that's the reason why. And that's all. That's that. And if you're brand new here, well, welcome to the party, pal. We hope you enjoy the ride. Grab your nice, tasty, cold one. Put your stinky, smelly feet up and enjoy the show. If you like it, great. You don't, well, too bad. Well, that's that. Alright, ladies and gentlemen, it's Friday. Gotta get down on Friday. Something for the weekend. Yep, Friday. August the 14th, 2026, we are pretty much a little over 2 weeks away from the end of the year, the end of the dog days of August, and then we begin September, we're counting down the Labor Day weekend, which is about two weeks away, a little over 2 weeks away, so we're getting there. The summer is pretty much over. For some of you, some of you have gone back to school. For us here in the Northeast, we got a couple of weeks after Labor Day and a couple extra days off. We go back. You guys go back. I think on the 9th or the 10th, and then that's pretty much it. And then back to school for all you douchebags out there. Get your education because you need it, because some of you people either need to go back or need to continue, or just dumb and got left back. But it is what it is. So hit the books, ladies and gentlemen. Although the school year is upon us, and for me, I don't give a shit, because I've been out of school for 20 some odd years, so I'm happy with that. So I would go back to school and get my master's, but I don't feel like it. I just don't feel like it right now. I'm happy with what I got. And we move on. Alright, we got SmackDown coming up at the top of the hour. Should be a decent show. We got Cody is going to be the main event segment. Probably with Punk. And we're going to hear from Kevin Owens. Not Punk, I'm sorry. Randy and Cody. Probably be ending the show. Then we got Punk and Kevin Owens. See what happens with that. We've got a triple threat match for the SmackDown Tag Team titles as Papi Priest and R-Truth defend the belts against the new MFTs. That's the Resident Gremlin Tabataka. Yeah. And Julio and Haku will be leading them out. And they're going to be taking on the Triple A Tag Team Champions, Eric and Ivar, War Machine. I think we're going to get some new tag team champions. Probably maybe the MFTs. We'll see. And then on the horizon, you got Shinsuke and a mystery partner, or mystery, teammate. Because we saw Shinsuke last week make that promo saying, the MFTs, you need to know who I am. And who, I'm coming for war. And I didn't come alone. So people like, oh, it's going to be Hiromu Takahashi. No, probably not. I think it's going to be Evil, or it's going to be Finn Balor. I'll be shocked if it's anybody else. like Bushi or something like that. Not that he needs Bushi, but I would be surprised if it's Hiromu Takahashi. But I have a feeling, since he's on SmackDown, it's going to be Fiend Balor. He's good friends with Mr. Shinsuke, so we got that. But we'll see what happens with that. So that's on SmackDown coming up tonight at 8 o'clock. Your 2-hour cure for insomnia. All the way from now, pretty much until January, well, pretty much the end of December. So we've got a couple more months to go, about 4 months to go. And then the back to 3 hours, January the 8th, 2027. There's going to be some European tours, so for people that have a VPN, you don't have to watch it at 8. You have to watch it at 1, 2, 3 o'clock in the afternoon on your VPN. If you don't have a VPN, you get to watch the tape delay. And you don't have to read the spoilers. But we move on with that. But that's tonight. Alright, ladies and gentlemen, hope you had a great Friday. My Friday was really rough. I'm glad the weekend is here. I'm just gonna rest up. And I do got some things to do tomorrow. And then Sunday I'm probably just gonna chill. And that's pretty much it. And got preseason footballs on tonight. The Bears and the Bears. So I thought Jets at home in that garbage stadium. That garbage stadium called MetLife Stadium. Taking on the Succaneers. And game already started. They're up 3-0 with 4:25 to play in the first quarter. All right, week 2 of the in the NFL, in the preseason NFL, in the league where they play for pay. The Niners sadly lost last night, 19-13 to the Titans at home in Santa Clara. Can't win them all, and we don't care about the preseason. So, but a lot of good things came out of that. Scribbling, we're going Scribbling. Scribbling with a monster first half. And then pretty much from there, the backup quarterback stunk it up. At least the only good thing besides Scribbling was Eddie Dinero Guerrero Pinero ese pero. Kicking field goals easily. That's what we paid him for. Kick field goals. Uh-oh. Oh, I'm about to say that guy was about to go. He could go all the way. No, he didn't go that far. We got that. All right, just got the ball. 4:13 left in the first quarter, excuse me. So, just starting out. I don't think we saw much of Geno Smith, who is coming back for his second tour with the Jets. Take the Seattle curse and bring it over back to the Jets. Recurse him like he was on the first time. Well, we got that. Alright, ladies and gentlemen, enough football. We'll talk about football in a couple weeks, actually, before we get to the main season. The regular season. But we got that. Alright, ladies and gentlemen, let's talk about Monday Night Raw. And as the title below says, on your Friday evening, getting close to Friday night, August 14, 2026, right here on the Kiro Demons channel. Once again, my name is Peter Joseph. I am a content creator talking about the wonderful world of professional wrestling or anything else I feel like talking about. And if you like it, great, then go watch something else. Get out of here. Go fuck yourself. But you'll stay because you love me so much. And I don't love you either. Except for the good people. The ladies. Let me move on with that. Alright, we start the Luchador tournament to see who loses to Roman Reigns coming up in September in Mexico City, Mexico. And also, another guy who wants a title, might get a title shot at Money in the Bank, and that's Eli Drake. That's not an insult. That's a fact of life. Yeah. Well, we didn't have Roman on the show. He would be back on Monday to grace us with his presence, his aura, whatever you want to call it. Alright, so we are emanating from the legendary Scope Arena. Yeah, because we need Scope, because all those people in that arena, their breath stink! Alright. My breath don't stink because, I brush my teeth. And I use mouthwash. Scope, Listerine, whatever I got, so. But it is what it is. Know you like to think your shit don't stink. Okay, moving on. I had to say that. Alright, so we're from the Scope Arena in Norfolk, Virginia, or Norfolk, Virginia, whatever you want to call it. And as always, on Monday Night Raw, commentary team of Michael Cole and Corey Slave. That's that. Alright, so we open up with a recap of Eli Drake confronting our tribal chief, put up your ones, for Roman Reigns last week, calling Roman a fraud, and rather than Roman sending the entire bloodline after Eli, he instead gave the bloodline another target, and that would be Royce Keys, which Jacob destroyed Royce Keys, bloodied him up, and pretty much sent him to the emergency room and out of WWE for a little while. So, we don't know when Royce is coming back, but right now he is out indefinitely after the hellacious beating that Jacob gave him. We get that. Alright, so we go right to ringside with Michael Cole and Corey Slater. They're hyping up the show, and then we hear pew 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 pew. It's Solo, me Wookie. Coming through the crowd loves him, singing, "Just me, Oos. Day one is just me, Oos." Yeet, So he's like, "I'm here to deal with the bloodline." So then Jay Uso, the Yeet Man, comes out regularly through the entrance to interrupt. And he asks Solo, "Are you sure you want to do this?" And he says, "You need to fall in line." And Solo starts laughing about that and asks if Jay fell in line, because it looked like you fell off, pretty much. And Solo's like, "Jay, the reality is you were a world champion. You won the Royal Rumble. You beat Walter at WrestleMania 42. How did that go? Well, 41. I think it was 41, I should say. Not 42. 41. But now all that's gone. You have no more aura. And basically you have nothing. And I'm not coming back to the family because I'm living the life. I love it right here where I'm at right now. Fans love it too." So Jay says, "I raised you." He's like, "Who has a big house because the rest of the family? How do you have the cars and everything?" Well, thanks to Austin Roman. So Jay's like, "I want to face you in this ring right here, right now, or later on. And if you lose, Solo, you have to come back to the family. So this is your warning shot." Bow! And Solo's like, "Oh, shh. Is everybody okay? Everybody get shot?" That was funny. I love that. Good old Solo just scored a touchdown. Woo! Jets. Jets. I know it's preseason, but some guy named Allen. Number 0. Touchdown. So the Jets are up 10-0 as we go into the second quarter. Good shit. Not that it matters because it's preseason. Alright, so Jay gives Solo the warning shot, and Solo ducked. And he's like, settle down there, Jay. Hold on. I accept your challenge, but if I win, you guys need to leave me the fuck alone. Well, I guess that works. Okay, we get that. Alright, so that first segment was just amazing, and I gave it 3.5 out of 5 stars. And we're off and running on Monday Night Raw. Alright, there we see Pentagon Zero Miedo. He's ready to win the tournament. But first, he has to get past the Laredo Kid essay. And we got that. Then we hear from the Laredo Kid is ready to show what he can do in the spotlight. But before their match, we go to the back. Jay runs into Jimmy Uso and Jacob Batui, who says, "I'm not sure what you're thinking." And then Jay's like, "It's just me running the play." And Jacob's like, "Yeah, you're running the play, but you're running it by yourself because you're ignoring everything we tell you." And Jay's not happy with that. Says, "I'm bringing Solo back to the tribal chief." And he's like, hey, Jacob, what have you done lately? Oh, did you watch last week's show there, Jay? Anyway, Jacob brings up taking out Royce Keys last week and says, You better win. Basically, says, I did something that your dumb ass, your punk ass couldn't do. That's a win. Then Jimmy's like, yeah, pretty much. So, he gave that segment 3 out of 5 stars, so Jimmy, you better do your... not Jimmy. Jay, you better do your part, sir. And that's that. Alright, then we go back to the ring. First round match in the Luchador tournament. Face Roman. Pentagon taking on the Laredo Kid. Very fun match. For under 11 minutes, we're getting to the end. And we're going to reverse Sling Blade. A slingshot drop kick in the corner. Hits the Laredo Kid for a near fall. But he hits Pentagon with a Hurricanrana. Then he hits a 450 for a near fall. Pentagon with a backstabber out of the corner for another near fall. Then they strike it out for a little bit. Pentagon sends the Laredo Kid to the outside. Big running flippy doo. And then on the inside, Pentagon picks him up, hits the Penta Driver. And then the Laredo Kid drives him right back. Or hits one of his own right back. Goes for a corkscrew moonsault. No water in the pool for USA. Pentagon comes right back with a Mexican Destroyer. 1, 2, 3. Pentagon goes to the semi-final. Pretty much the semifinals. We'll see what happens from them. Who his next opponent is. I think we all know I think it's going to lead to Pentagon taking on his brother Ray Dragon Phoenix Lee. And we'll see what happens with that. But good match, 3.25 out of 5 stars, and that's it. Alright, go to back. Logan Small with the rest of the Vision. He doesn't have his arm brace on anymore, so I guess he's getting better. He's with the Vision, Braun Breaker, and the other half of the tag team champions, and that's Austin Theory with his hot chick, Maxine Dupri. Logan calls Alpha Academy a bunch of jokes. That's Otis and Tozawa. Maxine agrees because Tozawa has no chance in hell against her boyfriend Austin Theory, who's apparently rather attractive. I bet. Got a big dick. He's probably got a bigger one than your husband there, Cam Hendricks. Just saying. Anyway, not that I know, but I'm just saying. Because you know they're fucking. Austin Theory and Maxine, they be fucking. Just saying. Braun seems like he's in a trance. He doesn't give 2 fucks. He's just focused on Oba! Who? Femi. And that's pretty much it. Alright, so I gave that 2.5 out of 5 stars. Then we get to Akira Tozawa taking on Austin Theory 1-on-1. Logan Paul at ringside. And I think, Braun Breaker was there. So a full Nelson backbreaker lets Theory go outside, poses with Logan Paul. And Braun Breaker's like, yeah, right, yeah, good job. And notice behind, if you watch really closely, Braun was like high-fiving fans and stuff. You know what that means? He's pretty much turning semi-face-ish. But he's kind of breaking away from the Vision, so that's that. Alright, we go to break, we come back. Theory gets a smoochy on the floor by Maxine, who was barely wearing any panties. Dupree. Tozawa gets a Shining Wizard, then a backsplash gives him a near fall. He fires off a bunch of kicks, get back up, and Theory just annihilates him, knocks him out with a spinning forearm, which is pretty much called the off switch. 1, 2, 3, in just under 8.5 minutes. Austin Theory gets the win. Match was meh, 2.5 out of 5 stars. And then after the match, Theory kind of teased doing more damage. And then Pierce comes out, says, "Nope, we're not doing that." And then while that was going on, Braun Breaker gets inside. And I think he was about to kill Tozawa again. And then pretty much, Oba comes out. And Breaker's all smiling. He's like, yes. And then Oba pretty much dispatches of Theory really quickly. And Maxine's like, "What did you do to my boyfriend, you bastard?" Could have knocked Oba in the nuts as he was getting in the ring. But I guess not. And then agents and referees, Jason Jordan, P.D. Williams, and Kenny Dykstra and company, even Jamie Noble was there. They had to kind of break this up. Even Walmart security had to stop all this. Yeah. Fans loved it. I'm interested. I'm interested in it. So, we'll see. Probably going to be for Sunday night's main event coming up in a couple weeks. I hope, but we'll see. Unless they want to leave it for Money in the Bank, we'll see. Alright, then we get a video for, well, this guy. I'm sorry, Eddie. We got a promo from your good buddy, Rey Mysterio, the Triple R GM. "He stopped my flag up in Deho. He's a deadbeat. Thinks he's my son's father. I'm his papi. Remember that. I'm his papi." Okay. Alright, so deadbeat Rey Mysterio. So excited about the tournament. And then Dragon Ray Lee Phoenix, he comes up to thank him for the spot. My spot, dog spot, liver spot, butt. My spot. And then here's Eddie's son, Dominic Guerrero, the Triple R Mega Champion, getting unfairly fucked. Why is my son losing all the time? I don't get it. I don't know, Eddie. I don't know. I don't know the reason. Just I guess Triple H being an asshole. You told that bald Bendeong if I was alive today, I would kick his fucking bald ass and then take his wife and show the real Latino heat. Not as much as I give Joni, but you get to what I'm getting. I get it. Yeah, I don't like Dom losing all the fucking time. And then he goes to Mexico and he's losing there too. He's a god in Mexico, and then he's on Raw losing to Danhausen. Stupid. And then he loses to Dragon Lee. Come on. Anyway, so Dom pops in, says, "Hey, Dad. Why am I not in the tournament? Why am the king of the luchadors, essay?" And Ray's like, "Why do you think you wanted another handout? Because that's how you became a jackass in the first place." Oh, really? Oh, really, Ray? You forgot the SmackDown, when you guys were SmackDown Tag Team Champions before Dom saw the light? Didn't want a team with a deadbeat like you? Rather be with cool people like Edge, Poppy Priest, and Mommy Rhea Ripley? Shut your mouth, boy. Pendejo. Alright, so Dragon Lee tells Dom to show his father some respect. Yeah! Okay, Dragon Lee, you do know Eddie Guerrero is Dom's father. He's his papi. Alright, so we get a match out of that. I didn't care about it. Anyway. Alright, then we go look back at La Primera, Stephanie Vacour. Yeah. Yeah. Oh yeah, man. Booker T's favorite woman in the whole wide world. Being injured back in the spring, pretty much after WrestleMania, at the hands of the Judgment Day, which set up her return, and also the man, Becky Lynch's return, as we saw last week. Alright, so Stephanie was heading to the ring, and gets on the mic, says she's glad to be back, missed everything about being on Raw, including the fans, but above all else, she missed seeing Judgment Day getting scared every time she's shown up. That's why she's gonna take him down one by one. And she tells Liv, "You know you're not ready for me, Liv. pretty much. And then, the man, Becky Lynch, comes out. Steph's like, "Hey, Bendeja, what do you want?" "Que dice? What do you want?" So, basically, it's the same thing that Stephanie wants. She wants the Raw Women's Championship, including giving Liv one hell of a beating. Becky's like, "I worked too long and too hard to see the title go back to the mid-2000s. I guess that means the Divas title, I guess. And it's not gonna happen. And as for you, Stephanie, you're more of an enigma, Jeff Hardy. No. Jeff Hardy is the charismatic enigma, but I digress. But she seems to be gone more often than she's here. I don't know about that. So, she's like, "Are you this badass everybody's claiming you are? Or or does your body give up so your mind doesn't have to?" Becky's all fine with Stephanie giving Liv a beating because I'm going to get the belt. So, Stephanie's like, "I'm not impressed." Then she goes to leave, and then, trouble, that's me. Cherry lips and bad energy. Say it once, say it twice, and I'll give it to you all night. I'm your your bad advice. Bite me. Okay, got that. I sang your song for once. Alright, moving on. So Liv comes out. She gets quickly taken out by Becky. Stephanie comes back in and almost, but didn't, hit Becky in the face. Then they go nose to nose, more Spanish trash talking, until Becky just storms off. So, see what happens with that situation coming up this Monday night on Raw. And that's it. We move on. 2.5 out of 5 stars for that. We move on. Alright, then with the back, we have Eli Drake. That's not an insult, that's a fact of life. Yeah, he's all ready for Roman, our tribal chief. Put up your ones. And he's fine with winning the tournament to get that world title shot. And then, I think it was Kathy Kelly's like, no, it's just a luchador tournament, so you can't enter. So Eli's like, "Oh, how convenient! How convenient, we have a luchador tournament. And then I can't even get in." Well, you have to put on a mask and think you're a luchador. But you're not. And then, Solo Mibuki, he comes in and says, "Well, if I lose later on the J, you're pretty much all alone." And Eli doesn't really seem overly interested in that. So, yeah, that little union they had with Royce Keys and Solo and Eli, they had it for a little bit, like a cup of coffee, and then they won a SummerSlam, and then gone. We get that. Alright, we move on. Alright, then we get to Dragon Lee versus Dominic Guerrero SA, not for the Triple R Mega title. Pretty good match. We get to the end. Dragon Lee charged into a Michinoku driver by Dom, but he's good enough to tie Dom in the tree of woo for the double stomp. Dom comes back with a 619, goes to the Eddie Guerrero frog splash, and got knees. Damn it! And then Dragon Lee with Operation Dragon 1, 2, 3 clean pin, no chicanery from any of the members of the Judgment Day like Liv, Roxanne, or Raquel. No JD McDumpfuck. That was it. Dom loses again. I don't like it. Excuse me. That's pretty much it. Let me move on. Alright, after the match, once again, Big Cass. He's 7 foot tall, and you can't teach that. Basically, no reaction. Corey Graves doesn't give 2 fucks about the guy. Don't blame him. So Big Cass comes out, lays out Dragon Lee, and then bounce see Javon Evans, who got taken out last week by Mr. Big Cass. He runs in, gets a few shots in, and then he just like swats him out of midair like a bug. Then that big boot again knocks Javon's teeth almost down his throat. And I think he hit the East River plunge. And then that was it. He left. And we move on. Alright, we're in the back. Sol Luca, the resident Surfer Girl, is ready for revenge on Liv, Raquel, and Roxanne. She does have a mystery partner, but we don't know who it is just yet. And then, Mr. Danhausen! I will curse you. Mr. Danhausen comes in and offers to be her partner, well, with a little discount. Sol says, Mr. Danhausen, I'm sorry, but I got this covered. She goes and then she leaves, and then Danhausen asks Byron Saxon for some human money. That's not gonna happen. Well, Byron doesn't have money. He has to pay child support to Alfred. Ooh, I'm sorry, Alfred. I'm sorry. I'm a boy and everything, but, you know. I mean, your dad is Byron Saxton. I mean, there's some perks to that, but whatever. Whatever. So Byron says, no, I got no money. Danhausen then left, and then that was it. Okay. We move on. Move on with that. So 2.25 out of 5 stars for that. Alright. Eli says, I can get into the Luchador tournament. I'm going to go get a Luchador mask and enter the tournament. Adam Pearce says, no, you're not in the tournament. And then Eli's like, well, once the tournament is over, I'm going to find a way, well, actually, Pearce says, once the tournament is over, I'll find a way, for you to earn a title shot. So then he goes to leave, and then Jacob Fatu, he comes in and threatens Eli, who tells Jacob to go get a permission slip to fight from Roman. Oh, really? We're using 3rd grade fucking shit now? Come on now. And then Jacob hits his catchphrase, and then he laughs like, all gas, no brakes with it, yeah, And then he left, when that was it. Moving on. Alright, so 3 out of 5 stars for that. Alright, then we have, Raquel Rodriguez and Roxanne Perez taking on Sol Luca and her mystery partner. It is Io, my favorite, my wifey, Io, my 3rd wife, Io, do the pose, do the emo. Ah! I like cats. Okay, well she does. I do too, but I like pussy cats. But that's fun. Alright, this was a pretty good match. People are thinking it was going to be somebody from NXT. Or like Lola Vice or something like that. No, Lola's on SmackDown. Well, might see her tonight. Anyway, pretty decent match for under 12 minutes. We're getting to the end. Io comes in off the hot tag. Takes over on Roxy with a Shante! Knocking pretty much her the fuck out. Then the Bullet Train of Roxy sets up a big time missile drop kick. And then she does the nip up, emote. And then Raquel has to save Roxy before being knocked to the outside, which leaves Roxy to kick Sol Luca down, even though she was the legal woman. Io reverses Roxy's Shining Wizard. Hits the Bullet Train in the other corner. Goes for over the moonsault, but Raquel comes back, break that up, knocks Io down. That earns Raquel an Asai moonsault. And then while in the ring, Sol Luca flips out. I don't know how she did it. Flipped out of Pop Rocks, landed on her head and feet, and then pretty much kicks Roxy in the gut. And sets up the Soul Snatcher. She snatched her soul. 1, 2, 3. Io and Sol get the win. Decent match. 3 out of 5 stars. So, see what happens with both of those lovely ladies a little bit later. All right, when the back, Braun Breaker comes up to Paul Heyman, and there was some weird woman behind him. Like, who is that? We didn't know who she was. She was just shooting her. Like, who is this chick? I think she was part of the makeup crew. I don't know. Anyway, so Braun talks to Paul about the showdown with Oba, and Braun asks Paul, "Who do you think is the future of WWE?" So Heyman's like, "Well, I respect both of you. I respect the hell out of both of you." Braun's like, "That's not what I asked you, Paul. Who is the future of the WWE?" So Heyman kind of gets in his face, says, I'm starting to think that you're starting to think that Oba is the future, which is pretty much the problem. And then Paul says, "I'm going to keep respecting Oba until you say to me that Oba isn't worthy of that respect." So he goes to leave, and Braun's like, okay. So Heyman pretty much dies a major bullet. Not the first time, but we all know what happened to Paul when he got speared by Mr. Braun Breaker. He was in the hospital bed. It is what it is, and that's that. Alright, I'm gonna watch SmackDown. It's on now. Okay, SmackDown is... The signature's on right now. Okay, we move on. Alright, so I give that 3 out of 5 stars. Alright, also in the back, Rey Mysterio places Pentagon for his match earlier, getting the win over the Laredo Kid. And then the Intercontinental Champion, Chad Gable, in his pickup truck, comes in to do the same. So Pentagon goes to leave, and then Gable says, "I want to defend the Intercontinental title against you, Rey." Rey's like, "Oh, thank you. Thank you so much." So Gable's like, "Alright, I'll talk to Adam Pearce about it." Why is Rey getting title shots he never earned? I don't get it. And I was talking in Issa's chat, and I was like, WWE is starting to be like AEW, where they just give proving ground matches to anybody. Alright, we're in Boston. I think we're at the TD Bank Arena. I assume we're at the TD. Yeah, we're at the TD Bank Arena in Boston for SmackDown, KO, and Punk coming off the elevator. So we're gonna see what the next chapter in their little story is. We got the United States title on the line. Baron Norman Corbin with that fur belt, which should have been changed by now. He's going to be taking on him, Carmelo Hayes. I don't think we're going to see a title change tonight, because I think Trick will get involved somehow. Eventually, we'll get a triple threat match out of that. The other women's title match, the women's U.S. title match on the line, as well as it's Tiffy time, Daddy. What? I'm on TV. You're watching. Yes, you look great. I hope you win tonight, Sunshine. Do your best. Yeah, I'm taking on that pretty girl, Jacy Jayne, with her 2 girlfriends. I'll take care of them later. Anyway, I gotta go get ready, Daddy. I love you. Bye! Thank you, Sunshine. Bye. Okay. Alright, Nicholas Aldis is in the ring. General Manager of SmackDown, or as we call it, Weltdown. Alright, we got that. Alright, so Rey and Chad Gable for the Intercontinental title. And like I said, I don't know why Rey is getting handouts. You have to earn your shit, Rey. Like, Eddie always had to earn his spot and earn his title shots, right, Eddie? I always earned my title shots. I never lied or cheated or had to get a handout ever in my life. Rey is a piece of crap because he's poor. It's a poor man's luchador. Yeah, pretty much. Well, Chelsea Green, Madam President, the real world champion of SmackDown, She's out. I don't know. I hope they don't strip out the belt. Man, her face looks, it looks disgusting. Well, that orbital bone will do it for you. Yeah, she has like a blackish eye on her right side. Oof. You could tell that's, you could tell that broken orbital bone looks like it got worse than it originally looked. But she's gonna be I heard is she's gonna be on TV, but they're gonna keep her out of action until her orbital bone gets better, which should be a couple weeks. So we'll see. That's what that. All right, after Chad Gable and Rey Mysterio, go to back. Kathy Kelly's with Solo Luca and EO. They're happy with their win over the Judgment Day. Then they run into, well, homeless girl Lyra Valkyria, who thinks Sol is getting close to the Women's Intercontinental Belt, the belt that pretty much she made, technically. With Lyra bringing up Bayley! Give me a hug! Well, Bayley in some hot water for her tweets lately. Uh-oh. Oh boy. That's not good. Even though she's basically pretty much on her way out, so she can do whatever the fuck she wants, I think. But WWE, TKO and Nick Khan, like, oh, you can't say that! Well, those cryptic tweets went all in! And fighting with Sasha Banks, Oh, I'm sorry, Mercedes. Anyway. So Lyra tells Sol to stay out of her way of the title. And then she goes to leave, and then Io's like, is she okay? Is she okay? That was funny. Io's like, is she okay? I don't know. You crazy? Oh, you crazy? Let me get that. So, should have with that. So I give that 2.25 out of 5 stars. Alright, then we go to the main event. Main event of Raw. Jey Uso, the Yeet Man, coming down from the rafters once again, takes on Solo Mibuki, Solo Sikoa. If Jey wins, Solo is coming back to the Bloodline. If not, the Bloodline have to leave. Pretty much has to leave, the Bloodline have to leave Solo alone. That's pretty much it. So, pretty good match, 12-minute match. Getting to the end, Jimmy comes out for distraction. A spear gives Jey a near fall. Solo fights back, goes right after Jimmy, which was his downfall, which allowed Jey to hit another semi-super spear. Then he goes up top, hits the Superfly Splash. 1, 2, 3. I was thinking Solo was gonna beat him. I guess not, but so now Solo has to fall in line to the Tribal Chief. I don't think it might happen. Or he will fall in line, but it'll be like he's not gonna be a spy or some shit. Yeah, he's gonna give Roman fits, and maybe with Solo, with Jacob too. So, I mean, we'll have to see what happens with that. Now Zila is in NXT. He can come up, so Solo can be like a spy, and then Roman kicks him back out, and then at War Games we have Solo's team once again taking on Roman's team of Roman, Jacob, and the Usos, and on the other side you have Solo, Zila, Eli Drake, and Royce Keys coming back. That's what I would do, 4-on-4. And as we all know, Roman's team will win. That's all I gotta say about that. What is Chelsea talking about Mickie James for? I don't know. Anyway, so that was it. So match-wise, it was 3 out of 5 stars, and then afterwards, really nothing happened. The Usos celebrate, and that's pretty much it for Raw. So Raw was kind of mid. So I gave Raw 6.5 out of 10 stars. Thought it was pretty mid. So we'll see what happens this Monday night on Raw. Roman's back. Solo is back in the Bloodline for now. And that's pretty much it. What? Chelsea gave the belt back? Why? No! Why?
Chelsea, wait!
Why did you give the belt back to him? Wait a minute. I think Nick's like, no, you're our champion now.
As Nick Aldis, the GM, I think I'm doing the right thing.
Yes, I had him muted, but I think Nick said that you have to vacate the
I
belt.
don't give a damn what medical says.
Yeah. Chelsea's like, I can't fight because of medical reasons, and Aldis like, well, fuck medical, you're my champ.
I'm going to give you 30 days to get cleared, get a face mask, do whatever you have to do to defend this championship. But as far as I'm concerned, until someone takes this from you,
Yep, pretty much. I knew that was going to happen. Nick says that Chelsea is still the champ, and he gives her 30 days to get better, or maybe they'll strip her of the belt. So Chelsea is still the interim / real SmackDown Women's Champion. Fans are going nuts, and now, oh no, Walter's here. What does Walter want? What the fuck do you want, Walter? You ready? You lost the Nick Aldis, and what do you want now? I don't know. Anyway, guys, I'm gonna go watch to hear what Walter has to say, but all in all, Raw, 6.5 out of 10 stars, and that's pretty much it. Until next time, my friends, I'll be back later with your NXT review over on my Peter Joseph channel, but until then, peace!